Well, Phil, we are standing in the constituency of East Douglas, just outside Jaks Bar and Smokehouse. 7 candidates tonight. They did incredibly well under some pretty intense pressure for various reasons. You were listening. What did you make of what you heard?
Well, of course, we're standing on the glorious new promenade, almost finished. I was challenged, I have to say, by tonight's performance, if that's the word. There were 7 candidates, and it's hard to see who's ahead. I thought that there were lots of good policies discussed. Obviously, we're losing Chris Robertshaw from Manx politics. He was very big on vision. I didn't hear a lot about vision tonight, but most of all the candidates had well-researched, well-considered policies that they trotted out at the appropriate moments. So quite a tough one. Good, confident answers, good, confident speakers. I'm not sure where I'd place my money on this one.
And it is interesting. We know there will be at least one new candidate in the constituency of Douglas East. We've had Liberal Vannin represented here and also the Manx Labour Party. Will that make any difference, do you think?
Possibly. I mean, it's hard to say, really. I don't think party politics has been a great success in this part of Douglas. I don't remember any specific Douglas East candidates. Maybe there were some Douglas East MHKs from Labour at one point, but I don't remember any. It's a tricky one. The sitting candidate obviously gave a good, competent performance, but she, I would imagine, will be quite worried, judging by the quality of the debate, the quality of the other candidates, their answers. There's some really sound, good answers. I mean, Michael Josem obviously talked about holding people to account. We think he described it as getting skin in the game. That was one of his often used lines. Joni Farragher had a good set of researched, and as you would expect from a Labour Party candidate, progressive political answers. John Jochen, I thought, gave some very strong answers on climate change and also in relation to the promenade, suggesting that the Douglas MHKs had been absent and should have been fighting harder. Some brilliant answers from most of the candidates, it's fair to say.
Let's remind you who the candidates are in this constituency. So standing for Douglas East, we've got Claire Barber, Joni Farragher, Peter Gilmore, Michael Josem, John Jochen, Christine Urquhart and Amanda Walker. Now, interestingly, one of the things that Amanda Walker raised during her summing up was the fact that she actually lives in the constituency of Douglas East. Now, I think, if I'm correct, there are only a couple of candidates actually standing in this area who live directly in the constituency. That's not something that's unique to just this constituency, though, Phil. And I wonder how important you feel it is that if you're standing in an area, you should live in that area.
I think it's less important in a place like Douglas East because, if candidates are living in the Douglas area, they're not far away. Whereas I suppose where we've just been before this programme, Ayr and Michael, you could be living 5 or 6 miles away and still living in the constituency. So that would be a bigger deal, I suspect. Amanda Walker had some very strong answers. I loved the way she was talking about the great lifestyle on the island. She had a really good sort of finish talking about, basically talking up the island, talking about her experience and being approachable, but talking up the island. There weren't too many of the candidates saying positive things. In a way, that's inevitable in one of these debates because you tend to look for the negatives. And I remember writing on various speeches in Tynwald, don't forget the positives, because there usually are more positives than the negatives. But yeah, Peter Gilmore, again, some excellent points about greater diversification of the economy, talking about, young people don't necessarily want to work in the sectors that are currently here on the island. Again, Christine Urquhart made some good points about the regulation of housing and a range of really good points. So yeah, lots of 7 strong candidates.
I'm guessing you're pretty glad you don't live in this constituency then. Wouldn't be able to make your mind up?
It will be down to the manifestos, I have to say. Yeah, I think I would struggle at this point.